Lecture 10 Part 2. Point number 6 of this chapter. Chapter number 3. All the internal controls may not be relevant for the purpose of statutory audit. Objectives like financial reporting, compliance, operations. On these objectives, internal controls apply. Like operations, the internal controls on operation may not be relevant for statutory audit. Now, point number 7, factors to be kept in mind while determining which internal controls are relevant for audit. Materiality, the size of entity, the nature of entity's business, applicable legal and regulatory requirements, the significance of related risk. Examples of controls which may be relevant for the purpose of statutory audit. Controls over completeness and accuracy of information generated from the system. Internal control designed for safeguarding of assets. They can be either physical access control or logical access control. Now page number 3.11, this is the reading part which we have to read. Nature and extent of understanding of relevant controls. Like risk assessment procedures to obtain audit evidence about design and implementation of relevant controls may include inquiring entity personnel, observing the application of specific controls, inspecting the documents and reports, tracing the transactions through the information system relevant to financial reporting. Inquiry alone, however, is not sufficient for such purposes. Now, evaluating the design of control involves considering whether the control individually or in combination with other controls is capable of effectively preventing or detecting and correcting material misstatements. Like first it will prevent, and then it will detect, and then it will correct. Implementation of a control means that control exists and that entity is using it. There is a little point is assessing the implementation of control that is not effective, and so the design of a control is considered first. Improperly designed control may represent a significant deficiency. Improperly designed may represent a significant deficiency in internal control. Now this point is important for MCQ or correct and incorrect. Obtaining an understanding of an entity's control is not sufficient to test their operating effectiveness unless there is some automation that provides for the consistent operation of the controls. 9 point. Evaluation of internal controls, that is, tools to review internal control system. Narrative record. This is a complete and exhaustive description of system as found in operation by the auditor. It is recommended in the cases where no formal control system is in operation. It is more suited to small businesses. Disadvantages are: to comprehend the system in operation is quite difficult, to identify the weakness in the system, to incorporate changes arising due to reshuffling of manpower, etc. Now after that comes the checklist. Checklist. This is a series of instructions and or questions which a member of audit staff must follow and or answer. Matlab, in case of instructions he will follow, in case of questions he will answer. Answers to checklist instructions are usually yes, no or not applicable. The complete checklist is studied by the principal, manager or senior to ascertain existence of internal control and evaluate its implementation and efficiency. Example of checklist instructions are: are tenders called before placing orders? Are purchases made on the basis of a written order? Internal control questionnaire. This is a comprehensive series of questions concerning internal control. This is most widely used form for collecting information about existence, operation and efficiency of internal control in an organization. The review can more easily be made on an interim basis. In the questionnaire, generally questions are so framed that a yes answer denotes satisfactory position and a no answer denotes weakness. Provision is made for an explanation or further details of no answers. In respect of questions not relevant to the business, not applicable reply is given. The questionnaire is usually issued to client and the client is requested to get it filled by the concerned executives and employees. Flowchart. It is a graphic presentation of each part of company's system of internal control. It is the most concise way of recording auditor's review. It gives bird's eye view of the system, and the flow chart of transactions and integration and in documentation can be easily spotted and improvements can be suggested. This will help him to understand and evaluate internal controls in the correct perspective.